I love black people. I do. Not as a group, not black culture. I know very little about black culture. I haven't really been, immersed in it in any large degree, so I don't know the ins and outs of actually daily living in it. But what I see of it, with the rap stuff, I don't know. I don't want anything to do with that. It seems to be full of anger and pain to me, and probably justified pain. But it's not something I want to be a part of. And the I don't, the areas that I see that are all black look violent and frightening to me. I don't want to live there, and I wouldn't fit in because I would be so white, and they would be like, it'd be like in a white area when the black people would just be the opposite, and I don't want that. But individual black people, all my life, I have loved as much as I love any other race, any other white person. There have been certain people that I have come to understand because we had shared values, and the relationships are exactly the same as they are with anybody else, because I don't love all white people either, but I grew up in a white society. I understand how it works, and it's very safe, and I can tell you a lot of wonderful things about living in white culture, and someone might could tell me wonderful things about living in black culture, but I don't know about them. And from what I see, it doesn't look good. And we need to talk about that. Are there good things in black culture that I'm not seeing? Is it as violent as it looks to me? And how can we change that? Do black people want to change that? Do they like the violence? I mean, violence is part of the world. It's not like white people aren't violent. They just don't have it as part of their domestic culture. They certainly have it with aircraft carriers, and planes just bombing people. Violence is not endemic to black people. It's just how do we live in our domestic areas, and what I understand and what I don't understand. And that's what we have to do to try to bring ourselves together and be one culture, or else we're going to be opposed, or forever. And it's the same thing with Asians and Hispanics, but black culture seems to be particularly separate, and we need to talk about why are they so particularly separate. Is it because of the past? Is it because they look so much different? Asian people look a great deal different. Is it just skin color? And then dark skin really is, even in the black community, they seem to have a dislike for darker skin. And where does that come from? Is that just a reflection of white society, or what? And all of these things, which are going to be so painful and so hard to talk about, are what we're going to have to do to get ourselves to come together. And it's not fair that the black community has to talk about such painful things after all the pain that they've already been through. It is not fair, and it's horribly wrong, and there's no other way to do it. And the world is horrible as it is wonderful. It always has been that way. And if anybody else has another way, then I would like to hear about it. But I would really like this problem solved, not because I am crazy about black people as a group. I love the black people that I do love, and I have as many close relationships with black people as I do white people. But what I care about is America and American values, and that's not the geographic area of America. It's belief in humanity, belief in that we can govern ourselves over time, and keep learning and make government smaller and smaller and take on more and more responsibility ourselves. And we're going to have to come together to make that happen. And that's what I care about. We don't have to care about the same thing. We just have to have the same goal. Let's start getting things done. Let's start talking, and let's start looking at the hard problems and the truth, and start really trying to fix things instead of just pointing fingers and being hurt.